Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad y'all decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. Listen, we have so much to cover. We do. These internet streets, they're getting busy. They are. And some of it is positive and some of it is negative, but y'all know we talk about it all over here. Yes, we do. But first, I want to give some shout outs, some people who absolutely decided to donate to the channel. And of course, I have to give them all the love that I have to give because I just appreciate them so very much. And first up is Susie Q. Susie Q is one of the originals. When I say original, I mean original squatties. She is one of the founders. And I am so honored and so thankful that she is a part of this community. So thank you, Susie Q. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here and being a part of this tribe. And next is Jane Press. Jane is one of the original readers. She is. She was here when nobody else was here. She saw something in me and she has been just such a huge support ever since. And I appreciate her so very much. So thank you, Jane. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for your unwavering support. And Yulette came through. Yulette is so faithful. She is just so wonderful and so kind. And she is always riding hard for the read. I appreciate her so very much. So thank you, Yulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Elegant Pause came through. I love Elegant Pause. She is the best of the best. She is always in the comments. She is always riding so hard with me, and I appreciate her so very, very, very much. So thank you, Elegant Pause. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Patricia Smith, yes, my girl Patricia, she is wonderful. She is the best. She is so kind, so sweet, and so supportive, and I am so thankful for her. So thank you, Patricia. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being a part of this community. And thank you for riding so hard for the read. Yes, thank you for being here. All right, y'all, we're going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. Y'all, I want to give another quick shout out to Susie Q, to Jane Press, to Yulette, to Elegant Pause, and Patricia Smith. Y'all are the best of the best of the best. Y'all are so kind and wonderful and gracious, and I appreciate y'all so very much for supporting me. I know you don't have to, and I appreciate the fact that you do. I really do. So thank you. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, it is some interesting things going on in these internet streets. They are just running scared about this Australian trip. They are doing exactly what we said they were going to do. They're going to just build it up and build it up and build it up into something that is not. I mean, it's as if a pedo is not in the royal family. And they don't have anything to talk about. It is crazy to me. You have a whole pedo, an alleged pedo who has been arrested, and you can't talk about anything but a couple who are private citizens going to another country on a trip. I cannot, y'all. I cannot. But yes, they are absolutely in a tizzy. We're going to talk about some of the derangers. They have lost their minds. And I really think that Harry and Meghan need to start taking them seriously. Y'all know I have been saying this for a long, long, long time, that Harry and Meghan needs to pick one and sue them into oblivion, and the other ones will fall back. So we're going to talk about that. And we got a few articles we're going to talk about as well. So let's get started. I am not going to keep you long, but I will keep you entertained. So I'm going to put this up. And yes, it's all starting to come together, y'all. We found this out today. It says, wow, it's all happening in Australia in April. While Meghan speaks at a girls' weekend in Sydney, Prince Harry will be the keynote speaker at Inner Edge Summit 2026 on workplace mental health on the 15th and 16th of April in Melbourne. Let's go. Yes. And it says Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. Prince Harry has dedicated his life to service and uplifting communities while emphasizing the importance of our collective mental health in his philanthropy and his advocacy work globally. Put a line under that globally, because I love it. I do. Yes, it is starting to come together, and it is exactly what we said it was going to be. They want to try to make it a royal tour because they want a royal tour. This is just Harry and Meghan doing some things that they, is close to their hearts. And also, this is a private and personal trip. This is not something that is going to be indicative to a royal tour. They're not going to be on the side of the streets waving and going and shaking hands and doing walkabouts and all that. They're not doing that because they are not part of that family, and that's what that family does. Harry and Meghan, they have a structured itinerary that they're going to follow. So all the flying monkeys, all of the ugly old hags, the toadies, and the rest of them need to pull back, have several seats, and shut the F up, because Harry and Meghan are private citizens and they can go where the HE double hockey sticks that they want to go. And that is what I've been saying on Twitter this very day. But yeah, I must say I've been saying some ugly stuff too. Yes, I have been all upside these derangers' heads today. I am so glad that Twitter has relaxed when it comes to their community guidelines, and you can say a little more than you used to could say, because you used to couldn't say anything. They would absolutely put you in Twitter jail for several days. Yes, they would. And I'm telling you, I used to be in Twitter jail so often that I had made friends. But I digress. Yes, they are absolutely on these internet streets. These derangers are, these ugly old hags, these toadies, and even some of these flying monkeys are out here cutting the food. And of course, you know me. I love to cut the food with a food. And I was on Twitter cutting the food. And so far, I'm not in Twitter jail, y'all. Well, at least I don't think I am. I hadn't checked back in a minute, but because I said some reckless things, so I don't know. But if I am, it was well worth it. I'll put it that way. Because they out here absolutely saying some reckless things. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but yeah, they have lost their minds. And because of that, you have to get dealt with, at least by me. I'm just saying, I don't mind wrestling a pig. Y'all know me. And I'm going to put this up, and it is for no other reason than I just think this is such a good picture of Harry. Harry looks so cute in this picture. He does. I'm telling you, you can see Diana in his eyes. Yes, Harry looks good. And this squatty said Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, will be a keynote speaker at the Inner Edge Summit 26 on workplace mental health from April 15th through the 16th, 2026 in Melbourne, Australia. Yes, come on through, Harry. Harry looking good. I'm telling you, Harry looking good on this picture. I love this picture of Harry. And I'm going to put this up because Gemma O'Neill, she did a little video and she was talking about how Meghan is going to be her guest. And she was just so excited that Meghan had decided to come on her podcast. And of course, Meghan is not getting paid. I know a lot of people are talking about how much this girl retreat is costing and all of this. But Meghan is not receiving a dime of that money. And all I can say to that is, if she was, so what? What is the problem with Meghan getting paid for her labor? I never have understood that. It's as if you don't want her to have anything. I think that's it. I have said it time and time again. They do not want Meghan to have nice things. They don't want her to work and earn money to pay for nice things. They just don't want her to have nice things. That's the reason why they don't want her to have Harry, because they feel Harry is too good for her. And all of that is rooted in racism. You can't tell me any different. Now, a lot of the hate coming Meghan's way doesn't have anything to do with racism, but a lot of it does. They really feel that she doesn't deserve the life that she has because she is a woman of color. A lot of it is rooted in that. Now, some of it is rooted in the fact that she married a prince and became a princess, and a lot of women really feel some kind of way about that because they're losers, and losers hate to see winners win. So we understand that, but a lot of it is rooted in racism. So yeah, I digress on that point, but Meghan is not getting paid. She's not. And they are losing their minds talking about how much these tickets are. And what they don't seem to understand, if you can't afford it, why are you so triggered? If you don't want to see Meghan, why are you so triggered? If Kate, whatever Kate's doing, it doesn't trigger me. I don't care because I don't want to see Kate. I can live the rest of my life never seeing Kate. But these people act like it's some kind of insult to them that they can't afford to go see Meghan, a woman that they say they don't even like. Make it all make sense. You can't, because these people are deranged. It's no sense to be made of what these people are out here talking about. It just makes no sense, but I digress that point as well. Gemma O'Neill, she made such a wonderful video and announced that Meghan would indeed be on her podcast. This is a quote from her. It says, I have admired this woman, Meghan, and what she has endured, how she has risen above it, and how she has demonstrated how women can be pushed down and she can still rise. Where is the lie? Where is it? This woman is telling the story of how they treated Meghan. They pushed her down. They tried to bury her. They tried to smear her. They tried to scandalize her name. They tried to make her every bad thing that they could come up with. While at the very same time, they were doing all manners of bad things. If they wasn't pedos, They were pedos enablers. If they wasn't pedo enablers, they were pedo protectors. They absolutely protected a pedo that they knew that was doing all of these things and was taking money from people who tortured women. But yet and still, Meghan is the bad guy. And they still be on that bullshit. They do. I mean, those flying monkeys over there, they're on it right now. And they really think that we should take them seriously when they're talking about Meghan. Get out of here. You best be glad you don't get a cussing out. Y'all, I'm telling you, sometimes I have to count to 10 to keep from cussing some folks out. I don't see how Meghan does it. I know she is more gracious than I am. I am a Southern woman. I am. And we absolutely rely on a good cussing out when it is needed. I'm just saying. But yes, I love this video from Gemma. And I am just really looking forward to this trip because I refuse to allow the flying monkey, the derangers, the toadies, the haters, and all of the ugly old hags to rob me of the joy of seeing my faves do what they do best. I refuse it. I'm just saying. And here is some of the nonsense that they're up to, the flying monkeys and all of the ugly hags, the derangers, the trolls, the toadies, all of them. They are in a tizzy because they're mad. They are big mad that they have not been able to destroy Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan just keeps moving forward. They do. And I love that about them. They never, ever allow anybody to tear them down because they never stand still. They keep on moving. And here is the Daily Fail talking about this woman. Her name is Jackie O. Henderson, and saying that she snubbed Meghan. I only have one question in response to this article, and that is, who in the hell is Jackie O. Henderson? Who this woman, Hoppo? Nobody knows who this woman is. And I venture to say nobody cares. And I'm sure Meghan doesn't care. I had to do some research to find out who she was. And it seems that she used to be like a co-host with Gemma. And she left way before Meghan even thought about coming on the podcast. So why in the world would this be a snub when this woman doesn't even work on the podcast anymore? It makes no sense, but we all know it doesn't have to make any sense. All they need is just a thread, just any little thing so they can build it up to be something that is a lie. And this article from the Daily Fail, the title is Jackie O. Henderson snubbed Meghan Markle's $3,000 Sydney retreat. Yeah, they want to put tags on everything that Meghan does, a private citizen. If Meghan spends $3 million for a retreat, or if she charged $3 million to come and see her at a retreat, how is that any of the business of anybody over there at the Fail or on Fleet Street? Because y'all ran them off. They're no longer a part of the working royals, and they make their money honestly. They're not making shady money with all of these sheiks who love torturing women and all of these unsavory characters. You know, they're not floating around on their yachts in the Mediterranean. They're not bringing home shopping bags of cash from the Middle East. No, they're not doing anything that Willie Kitty, Charles and his horse, and the York sisters, and Prince Andrew, and all of them youngins of Princess Anne. And let's not forget that meathead husband of Zara's. They have done just about anything and everything that they can do to bring home a pound or two. Harry and Meghan make their money honestly. But yet and still, they don't want them to have nothing, don't want them to work for nothing. They just want them to absolutely fail. And of course, squatties came up under this whole post by the Daily Fail, and they had something to say. But the one I really want to highlight is the one at the bottom, because this squatty calls out the desperation and how pathetic the Daily Fail is. This squatty says, it's not even freaking April yet, and you're already on your 100th article about this event. I love how you give Meghan free advertising space. She rules over y'all. Where is the lie? Where is it? They are so obsessed, just spinning out article after article after article. I mean, I cannot with these people. This squatty said, why are the haters in the British tabloids throwing tantrums about how we Australians spend our money? If I'm lucky enough to get one of the 300 tickets, I'll happily pay. My money, my choice, and Meghan is worth it. Exactly. Why are you so triggered? Why are you so pressed? It is free enterprise. If you can afford it and you want to go and see Meghan, go. If you can't afford it, don't go. If you don't want to go and can't afford it, don't go. I mean, it is just that simple. But they cannot take the fact that Meghan is going to be anywhere. Even though Meghan, like I said earlier, is not making a dime, which I really wish she was, because she deserves it. She deserved to earn money for her labor just like everyone else. I think Harry and Meghan are not charging for their labor in this particular case because they don't want to get criticized for it. But I would absolutely give them the middle finger and a big F you to all of them and live my life on my own terms. Whatever I chose to do, that's what I would do it. And if they wanted to take those titles, I would tell them to stick them where the sun doesn't shine. My opinion. And this squatty says the Rangers are in a manic crash out right now. They're lashing out and recruiting others to join the hate. These lunatics want to protest a woman's wellness and empowerment retreat. Can you believe that? This is how crazy these people are. Now, we laugh at them and whatnot, but this is serious. These people are crazy. Can you even imagine? Can you imagine squatties caring enough to try to organize a protest against Kitty? I mean, it is crazy to us. People who have a normal thought process do not come up with this nonsense about online petitions and trying to organize protests against a private citizen. I mean, it makes no sense. Even if squatties wanted to protest Kitty, she is not a private citizen. She's not. I mean, but we would never do that because we're rational people. The people who were protesting the royal family at Commonwealth Day was their subjects, not squatties. It's just not that deep for us. It's not. I mean, these people are crazy. They think that they are in some kind of pseudo relationship with Meghan. I mean, if you read some of their posts, they literally think Meghan is paying them some attention, when it comes to their behavior online. I mean, totally batshit crazy. They are. They are totally out of their minds. And with everything that has happened in recent days, I really think that Meghan and Harry need to take these people seriously. And what I'm talking about is the incident that happened at Rihanna's house. Did y'all hear about that? I'm going to put this up. This is a woman who shot off 10 rounds from an AK-47 into Rihanna's home, the home where she shares with her fiance and her 3 babies. This woman let go of 10 rounds from an AK-47. And if you listen to some of the videos that they have posted of her prior to this incident, ranting about Rihanna, it is just like the derangers. I mean, the same obsessive ranting and raving about a person that you don't even know, but somehow feel you have this pseudo relationship with. I kid you not. And this squatty said, when obsession and hate mix, it becomes dangerous. And that's exactly how some Meghan Sussex haters behave. Where is a lie? Where is it? And I'm going to give y'all some examples. We're going to talk about this because I really feel that we have to take these people seriously. That's the reason why I give them no slack. I don't. Because these people, now, they might be harmless now, but they can become dangerous. I don't even know if they're harmless now. I don't even know these people, but they sound really crazy. I'm just saying. And this squatty said the woman who shot at Rihanna's house literally lives in her own head. She makes up lies about Riri, believes them, and want people to hold Rihanna accountable for the lies that she has made up. Now, who does that sound like? It sounds like the derangers that I see on these internet streets every day. Every day. I can't even tell you how many posts that these people put up of nothing but lies. One of them was talking about a new breaking news story had happened, and they had found in the JE files that Meghan was on his island. Yes, they absolutely had that out today. I mean, they just absolutely create this fantasy in that pea brain of theirs. And it can get dangerous. And this squatty went on to say this is literally how people act with Meghan Sussex. They're all believing their own lies. Where is the lie? Where is it? I see it every day. I'm telling you. They say that she's a yacht girl, that she's in porno, she's doing this. She is, I mean, it's just crazy the lies that they make up and the photoshopping that goes on and just absolute lunacy that these crazy people put out there on a daily basis about Meghan. The obsession is real. The craziness is real. Just like this crazy woman went and shot up Rihanna's house, these people are equally as crazy as she is. And anybody who has been on these internet streets knows that to be a fact. Now, these two dudes right here, I said they're dudes. Now, they insist that they are twin women, but like I said, it's my belief, strictly my belief, but they look like two dudes to me. But I digress on that point. These are two of the lunatics that are out here on these internet streets absolutely making up craziness on a daily basis. And one of them has recently lost her X account due to some lunacy that she was posting. And do you not know how batshit crazy you have to be to lose your X account these days? Because they're very liberal when it comes to putting people in Twitter jail, much less suspending their account. But this woman got her account suspended and she is losing it on X on a daily basis. Her sister is, because she is suspended. But look what it said. It says Twin Talk Live. Meghan Markle clap back. They really feel that Meghan is clapping back towards them. They really feel that Meghan had something to do with them maybe losing this X account, her sister. Yes, they really think this. And it says she's messing with the wrong twins. Tell me that is not crazy that they think that they're in a pseudo relationship with Meghan. And this is why I have so much smoke for that family over there. This is why I have so much smoke for those flying monkeys over there, because they created this. This is of their creation, their lies. They put together this plot, this plan to smear Meghan and Harry and cause the birth of these people. These people were out there wandering around. God only knows what they were doing, and they absolutely was called to action by that family over there and those flying monkeys. They put this hate out there. They put these lies out there. They did all of that, and they created these people, and now here they are. And I will always have eternal smoke for each and every one of them. All right, y'all, I want to change gears and I want to talk about this article that was in the Daily Fail, and it was written by Amanda Patel. And Kaiser wrote an article about this article because y'all know I will not give them a click. And Kaiser's article, the title is Patel, the Sussexes Australian trip will bring discomfort to the unpopular Windsors. Yes, they're saying that Harry and Meghan's trip is going to hurt Willie and Charles's feelings. Yes, a private trip. They're not taking a royal tour. I mean, it is a private trip. Why would it hurt their feelings? I don't get it. I want to read a little bit of the article and what Kaiser said about this whole thing. It says, it looks like the Duke and Duchess of Sussex upcoming visit to Australia will be mostly focused on a blend of commercial interests, paid appearance in Sydney and Melbourne. Well, we found out that Meghan's is not a paid appearance. Now, Harry's, we don't know. And all I can say to that is, if it is, so what? But I digress. It goes on and says, and charitable and philanthropic interests. This is not a royal tour, and the Sussexes don't give a crap about their approval rating in whatever emotional support poll. Well, even though this is not a royal tour, it's difficult to escape the fact that Harry and Meghan have been to Australia more recently than the future King of Australia. Prince William and his wife hasn't stepped foot in Australia since 2014. Y'all remember George was a arm baby the last time they were there, and George is almost a teenager now. So this is why I guess their feelings are hurt, because Harry and Meghan, this is their second trip back. But my whole thing is, it's not in a royal capacity. They're private citizens. Why are you in your fields? It makes no sense. But we all know it never has to make any sense when it comes to that family over there and Willie and Kitty. Yes, and it goes on to say about Charles and how Charles and the horse was over there in 2024. But who cares? Nobody. But this paragraph right here, I find so strange, and I want y'all to tell me what you think. This is what she writes. She says, it was surely not the Sussexes' intention to cause discomfort for Charles or Willie. I mean, what is going on there? Y'all tell me what y'all think, but didn't she just say that it wasn't the Sussexes' intention to cause discomfort for Charles and William? This is coming from a woman who has done nothing but savage Harry and Meghan. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I read that. And it goes on and says Harry is there to further his involvement with the armed forces and veterans communities for his admirable Invictus Games initiatives. There are reports that Meghan is due to appear as a guest on her Best Life podcast, launched and co-hosted by Aussie radio star Jackie O. Henderson. Perhaps she's looking to promote her as ever lifestyle brand. Now her Netflix deal is over. Well, she had to lie a little bit, y'all. She had to, even though she did not go all the way in. What do y'all think? Because this is a woman who is known for going in on Harry and Meghan. She sticks the knife in and she pulls it out. This time she only stuck the knife in and didn't bother to pull it out. Why? Something is going on. Y'all tell me what y'all's theory is about this. I'm going to have to sit on this one. I'm going to have to think about this one. And I'm going to have to watch and see exactly what goes on here. But Kaiser, she went in on Amanda Bertel and pretty much says that nobody gives a SHIT about Charles and Willie's discomfort. And I agree with this. If Harry and Meghan took in consideration Willie, Kitty, Charles and his horse, and even Sophie and what's his name, Edward, if they took in consideration their discomfort, they would not have a life. They wouldn't, because at the end of the day, they don't want Harry and Meghan to have anything. Anything. They don't want them to go anywhere. They don't want them to be seen. They don't want them to have any kind of success. They don't want them to make money. All they want from Harry and Meghan is for them to fail. So if Harry and Meghan had to take in consideration their discomfort, then Harry and Meghan would have nothing but discomfort. And this squatty came up under Kaiser's post of this article and said, these British media people tell on themselves. They aren't so much angry that Harry and Meghan are going, but more so that William and Kate are lazy, refuse to travel, and refuse to provide good content for the tabloids. Where is the lie? Where is it? And even when they did travel, they still didn't provide really good content for the tabloids. Now, we all know when they went to Jamaica and went down there, woo, they had a lot to write about, but they couldn't really go all the way in and just tell the real story that that whole tour was a flippity flop. Now, it has been widely panned since their return, but during the time they were down there, they absolutely was fighting for their lives along with Willie and Kitty trying to save that particular tour and was unable to do so. So then they panned it and said that it was a flippity flop. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with this squatty. And it says, just look at the Commonwealth Day. They did not make any front pages of any major newspapers or tabloids, unheard of in years gone by. Where is the lie? I noticed that too. It was no front pages. Kitty was on the side of one. Yes, I think Charles too. He was on the side of one. But you know, when the Queen was alive and when Harry and Meghan was over there, oh, they would be all over the paper. Something like this, it would have been just all over. But this time, not so much. So this squatty is absolutely right. It says, in contrast, Harry and Meghan seem to love to travel for work, and the media is pissed because had Harry and Meghan remained working royals, they would have been right there covering the work and basking in the glory. Where is the lie? Where is it? And selling the pictures to the world, especially to the United States. They would have been able to sell pictures of Harry and Meghan and those babies at a premium price. They would not be circling the drain. They wouldn't. But I just love this for them. I do. Because they ran off the goose that laid the golden eggs. And now here they are, really in need of some golden eggs. I'm just saying. And this squatty says British media lining up to buy plane tickets and event tickets to stalk Prince Harry and Meghan in Australia while whining about the price of said events for the couple they keep telling the Brits are irrelevant. Where is the lie? Where is it? They cannot be both. They cannot be relevant enough for you to have over 100 articles pumped out in a few days since Harry and Meghan announced that they were going to Australia. I think it was Friday of last week they announced that they were going to Australia. You done had hundreds of articles printed, and we're supposed to believe that all these articles are being written about a irrelevant couple, and that you are just trying to get a plane ticket to Australia now that you know that this so-called irrelevant couple is going to be down under. Stop it. Stop it. I agree with this squatty. These people are nothing but a bunch of clowns. Yes, line them up. Line up the clowns, bring in the clowns. Y'all remember when I used to sing that song and talk about Charles and Whitley? Yes, 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 bring in the clowns. And another cute picture of our prince, and this squatty that posted it said, "Thank God Harry got away. Good King Harry indeed." Yes, Harry got away. He slipped right out of there. He did. And I'm so happy and so overjoyed for him, Meghan, and those babies. But somehow I'm really, 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 really happy for Harry because Meghan has always known freedom until she married into that family. But Harry, this is the first time Harry has known freedom. Yes, and I just love it for him. And I love it for Diana because you know she is happy that her baby boy is free. Yes, he is free. And I'm going to put this up. This was posted by Chris Ship. I know Byron likes to say Chris Ship with a P, not a T. But in this case, I am going to reverse that and put the T where the P is at, because this post that he decided to put up absolutely shows that, yeah, he is a SHIT. He is. He is just as his name is spelled. At least that's the way I'm spelling it for now. And as you can see, this is what he said. On this day, 5 years ago, 9th March 2021, one day after she watched her grandson, Harry, and wife Meghan broadcast their interview with Oprah Winfrey on ITV1, Queen Elizabeth issued a statement. 5 words stood out and entered royal history books, while some recollections may vary. Yes, and y'all remember this is what the Queen's statement she put out, saying the following statement is issued by Buckingham Palace on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. The whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last few years has been for Harry and Meghan. That right there was a bald-faced lie, because the family knew exactly how challenging it was. One, because Harry and Meghan told them in real time and tried to seek help for Meghan because Meghan was so wrecked. She was having unaliving ideations. But yet and still you want to sit here and put out a statement saying that the family knows. Stop it. Stop it. That is nothing but a lie. And the family was saddened because they had did it. They were the perpetrators. They were the reason for what had transpired. They were out there shielding, cloaking, and protecting a pedo at the expense of her grandson and his wife. And even though the Queen is dead, she absolutely can still miss me. She absolutely can miss me with this nonsense. And it says, the issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. You think? You think? Uh-huh. And it says, while some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. They, from that point on, never even spoke to Harry and Meghan. At least Charles did. The Queen continued to do so, but Charles did not. Willie did not. Kitty did not. The horse did not. So, yeah, she was the only one that was taking it seriously. The other ones wanted to punish them and destroy them. And then she says, Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much loved family members. And yeah, she did that. She did. She did act as if she cared for Harry and Meghan and Archie. She did. And even Lilibeth. She made sure she met Lilibeth. But the rest of them, no. They have behaved in such a horrible, horrible manner and continue to behave in that same manner. So, yeah, dead queen, miss me. Now, this is some of the responses, the comments that came up under Chris Ship's post, and they are hilarious. And the first one off the bat would be Meghan, the Duchess of Advocacy. Y'all know she is one of my favorite squatties and podcasters. So, yeah, I had to feature her in this particular post. She said, so you're talking about the same queen that paid a woman 12 million pounds that accused her son of ape despite his claims that he never met the woman. Yes, recollections may vary. Yes, go straight for the neck. Go straight for the neck. I love it. And this next squatty said, is this the same queen who paid 12 million pounds to silent Virginia Dufresne so she could have a party? Yes, y'all remember. The Jubilee. Yeah, she absolutely wanted it to be shut down before the Jubilee. And they did exactly that. It says, who allowed the abuse and the media onslaught to buy and sacrifice Meghan's mental health to protect her son, who was accused of ape. Chris, be careful of what games you are playing. Come on through now. Come on through. They went straight in on him. Yes. What kind of games you think you're playing? We have a full, intact memory about what has gone on here. Are you going to try to paint a picture that didn't even exist of a woman who was not the woman we all thought she was, now that more things have come out in the JE files? Yes, we have found out that pedos were running wild up there in Effingham Palace. They were all over the royal properties. But yet and still here you are trying to use Harry and Meghan and pretend like somehow the Queen was a victim. That Harry and Meghan did her did her dirty. Yeah, you stop it. Like this particular squatty said, Chris, be careful of what games you're playing. Yes, don't play with us because we have receipts. And this last squatty said, so is this 5 or 6 years now since you stopped reporting on Harry and Meghan because they are no longer part of your remit? Yes, y'all remember when he said that they no longer, after Wednesday, I think this was way back in 2020 or 2021, I think it was 2020. He said that after Wednesday, Harry and Meghan will not fall under his job description. Y'all remember that? And this man hadn't stopped talking about Harry and Meghan ever, ever. It never, ever came to pass. And as squatties, we will never allow him to forget that statement. And we'll never let him get away with this rewriting of history. They want to rewrite history so bad because they have always been able to. But now the Sussex squad is out here and they refuse to allow them to do so. Yeah, so that's the reason why they be big mad all the time because we are just not having it. And I'm going to put this up because this is some news that I absolutely had to go, what is going on here? This was reported in Variety. It says Rashida Jones, former MSNBC chief, to lead Piers Morgan's uncensored content venture. What y'all think about that? Why would this accomplished black woman want to have anything to do with Piers Morgan? I cannot get my head around it. And this particular squatter that posted it said, I have no words. I have no words either because he is a pile of you know what. And why would this woman who led a news organization like MSNBC, why in the world would she lower herself to absolutely associate with someone from the bottom of the pickle jar where the slime lies? Why would she associate herself or connect herself to this person? It blows my mind. It really, really does. And so I just wonder, do she really feel like she's going to be at the bottom floor of something that is actually going to be something that she can build on? I don't think so. I think Rashida absolutely messed this one up. But we'll see how it all shakes out. But yeah, this one right here is a head scratcher. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And it seems that this woman who is biracial and she has married into aristocracy and she is going to be a cast member on a Bravo show titled Ladies of London. Now, I have heard of the show. I used to watch, I think I've watched several episodes of it when it first came on, which was many, many years back. So I know this is a reboot. But it seems that somehow in the promo that they threw some shade at Meghan, saying that this woman was the first black woman to marry into aristocracy. It's my understanding that Emma did not make the claim herself. It was one of her white cast members who was throwing shade at Meghan. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but I'm just going to say this. I'm not surprised by any of this because this whole show is on a channel called Bravo, which is solely ran by Andy Cohen. Mostly everything that comes on this particular network, Andy Cohen has a hand in it. And if you know anything about Andy Cohen, he is messy and he is a PR whore. And at this particular time, he is drowning because Bravo is dying, is slowly dying. And he does not know how to save it. So this is him throwing stuff up against the wall, trying to get something to stick. He has a well-known fascination with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, ever since he appeared on Meghan's podcast. Y'all remember her first podcast, Archetypes? He was on it. And ever since then, everybody that he just thinks might know Meghan, he asked about Meghan on that raggedy little show of his on Bravo. He is constantly asking about Meghan. So I believe this is a part of his fixation when it comes to Meghan. So he could not have Meghan on one of these shows. So he got what he thought was the next best thing, and that was Emma. Yes. So this is what this is about. This is not about Emma. It is about Andy Cohen, in my opinion, and his obsession with Meghan. And as for her to be used like this, she seems like she's very happy to be used like this. And this squatty that posted about this whole thing posted from another squatty that said, watching Ladies of London, and they threw some shade at Meghan. And the squatty that reposted this said, what's funny is she also experienced extreme racism, with her husband's family refusing to attend the wedding and saying she will ruin the bloodline, but yet instead of aligning with Meghan's experiences, she is here throwing shade. Disappointing. It is disappointing, but not surprising, because we all know how pick-me's are. Yes, and she absolutely just gives me that pick-me kind of vibe. I'm just saying. And this squatty posted this at the bottom and said, funny how the only reason the show is getting attention is that they mentioned Meghan. Yes, that is the reason why they mentioned Meghan, because they wanted to try to attract some eyeballs. Everybody is always trying to bite off of Meghan's shine. If they come from across the pond, they are going to try to do something, some way to bite off of Meghan Shine. It is as if they never even existed until Meghan came over there. The way they behave. It is crazy to me how obsessed these people are. So not surprising to me, because they want to try to draw some interest to this little show on this little network that nobody cares about anymore. Now, I'm going to give it its props. Back in the day, Bravo was the place to be. It was the place to watch all of the housewives and all of the other shows. Now it has ran its course. People are not even interested in any of the shows that are on Bravo. The Housewives barely break 1 million views. I mean, the most popular, franchises of Bravo's Housewives, the Real Housewives, they rarely break 1 million views per episode. That's how low they have gone. So, yeah, this is them trying to bite off of Meghan, trying to get some traction for this little show that nobody's going to be interested in. And this is Emma's attempt to try to get her foot in the door of the United States, because somehow she thinks that we will be interested in her instead of Meghan. But I digress. This squatty said Meghan never claimed to be the first black woman to marry into British aristocracy. Where is the lie? Because aristocracy and royalty is two different things. But yet and still, they never care about the facts. They always want to bite off the shine. And it says there is also a difference between aristocracy and royal. Someone should let Emma know. Yeah, I think she knows. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. And this squatty that reposted that said Meghan knew she wasn't the first to marry into British aristocracy. Hell, she knew she wasn't the first to even marry European royalty. Her wedding dress was a nod to Princess Angela of Liechtenstein. Exactly. Exactly. Look at this. This is nothing but Andy Cohen and that whole cast of, what is it, Ladies of London, trying to get a toehold into the ratings, trying to get someone to talk about them and to be interested in that show. And all I can say to that is good luck. Good luck, because nobody's interested in them. And this right here will fall by the wayside. Let's do what we do best, squatties, and ignore. That's what I'm going to do. And this particular squatty posted a picture of Queen Charlotte and said, Queen Charlotte, I can't say what her full name is, has entered the chat. Yes, actually, Queen Charlotte was the first black woman to marry into royalty, because they can say whatever they want to about Queen Charlotte, saying that she wasn't black, she didn't have African blood. But baby, one thing about us, we know our people. And this one right here, that's our people. And while Kitty and Charles was worried about Archie's skin tone, you best believe that they need to be worried about her children and Charles's DNA, because at the end of the day, they all got a little bit of Queen Charlotte in them. And Queen Charlotte was a black woman. I don't care what nobody say. Look at this picture. Because Queen Charlotte looks like my mother's people. Yeah, she looks like my mother. My mother looks just like this. So y'all can say whatever you want to. Queen Charlotte was a black woman. Bridgerton has that one right. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But like I said, we know our people. And I'm going to put this up because I always like to end with the positive. And this particular squatty, I think, just absolutely said everything that needed to be said about the trolls and the flying monkeys and the ugly old hags and the derangers who are absolutely running around like Chicken Little, thinking the sky is falling because Harry and Meghan are going on a private trip to Australia. This squatty said, just a quick good night reminder to the hateful, the idiotic trolls out there. Please continue staying mad, miserable, salty, pressed, bitter, and aggressively unmoisturized. Clearly, that's the hobby you're committed to. So don't let anyone stop you. Consistency. I agree. I agree. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.